Good evening, friends. Welcome to 360DigiTMG. Today, we are going to discuss about knowledge-driven chain of thoughts. So here we are going to understand about the role knowledge plays in thought process. Okay. So let's dive our session. So firstly, we will understand about what is knowledge-driven chain of thoughts. In the previous lecture, we have understood about chain of thoughts. Okay, so it refers to what? Refers to process of using our accumulated knowledge to guide reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. So in our presentation today, we are going to explore how knowledge forms the foundation of our thought process, how it influences the decision making, and how structured thought chain impacts real world scenarios. So what is chain of thought? So chain of thought is a term used to describe the continuous and connected flow of thought, one by one. Like one step happened, because of that, this next step is. So the flow of thoughts will be connected. Each thought will lead to next in a logical sequence. Okay. So, for example, when we are deciding to wear, we may start by considering the weather. Then we think about what clothes are clean. Then we will choose something appropriate for a day and we will wear that. Likewise, the chain of thought will follow a particular sequence, a thought process within which a logical sequence of thought within which one step will occur. Because of this, the next step will influence the first step. Okay. Because of the second step, the third step will be forming. And eventually we'll end up with the decision. Okay. So the role of knowledge in the thoughts. So there are two types of knowledge. Like first is our tacit knowledge and second is explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is that which we cannot spoken. Like we can gain these type of knowledge through our experience. Once we will experience this thing, we will get the knowledge from there. Like riding a bicycle, riding a bike. Okay. These types of things we will get through an experience. And there is second is explicit knowledge, which will be formal or documented knowledge like manual, textbooks, likewise. So both types will influence how we solve problems and make the decision from that. Okay, like our doctor. Our doctor uses their knowledge of anatomy and diseases to diagnose a patient's symptoms effectively. Like if you will go to a doctor and say, I have a cough and cold, they will diagnose what you ate, what happened, what are the, like they will, their thought process with this with respect to their chain of thought. Okay, because of this might happen, because of that, and similar type of medicines which suits your body, they will give you. Likewise. Okay, so it is one of the example of how the knowledge and thought works. Then there are three primary types of knowledge, like declarative knowledge. What we know, facts and information stored in memory. Okay, that we know. That is historical events, or what we can say scientific law. Then there is procedural knowledge, like how we do things, knowledge about processes or methods. Like procedural knowledge means how to bake, a cook, or how to bake a particular dish, how to make a particular dish. Likewise, so they will have some thought process, like one step and then second step, then third step. So these types of knowledge is called as procedural knowledge. Then there is conditional knowledge. When and why we apply that knowledge, like knowledge about when and why to use a specific facts or methods, like knowing when you have a certain mathematical formula, when we will want the particular formula to be there. When we know there is a plus b whole square, then we will understand, okay, here we can use this formula, which is an analytical formula. We can use this. Likewise. Okay. So these types of things, like when to use which knowledge, that depends upon our history. That depends is understanding how to use and when to use which of these knowledge to make our appropriate decision making. Then there is cognitive models of knowledge driven thoughts. Okay. So these types of, there are the SOAR models and ACTR models. These models focuses on decision making through problem spaces and operators. ACTR models uses a chunk of knowledge and which prediction rules or stimulates the human cognition, just like our human brain works. It will mimic like that and make a prediction or make a decision likewise. These models shows that knowledge is not just stored, but actively processed also. And from that processed knowledge, we can make a decisions also. So the knowledge-driven processes. The knowledge-driven process follows sequence of steps like gathering knowledge from all the several sources like environment, from books, research, experiences, all sorts of. Then there is organizing knowledge. Then there is applying knowledge. Applying knowledge. To apply that knowledge somewhere, to make a decisions from there. Then there is reflections and feedback from that knowledge so that we can overcome our decisions. Every time we need to have a feedback, apply these feedback and improve our future knowledge applications. Then linking knowledge to thought chains. There is charting knowledge. Starting knowledge means we start with known facts like market trends, past experiences. Then there is thought flow. Each fact or experience leads to next steps in reasoning. Okay, what was the best action we have taken in the past? Because of that, now the next step will be affecting or the next step will be happening. Okay, so these are the things, starting knowledge and the thought flow of this knowledge. Then there is semantic network, a network of linked concepts, which often represented by a graphs or a frames, we can say. Okay, so structured template for representing a stereotypical situations like conditional statements. If there is if, then, if, else, likewise. So it plays conditional statements like if, then. Rules used in expert systems like if this has happened because of this, this can happen. If this happened, then this can happen. Likewise. Then knowledge integrations. Integrating the new knowledge with what we already know is essential for effective thinking. Okay, we already know, integrating that thing with a essential thing or effective thinking or how we can do it in the next thing or existing thing. That is what our knowledge integration is. Assimilations, like incorporating new information into the existing knowledge without altering it, without altering the existing knowledge, we are adding new knowledge. Accommodation, like changing or modifying the existing knowledge structures to fit a new information. Okay, so likewise. Then there are applications of knowledge-driven thoughts. Like we can use it in our businesses. Okay, we can make a strategic decisions can be built by using a historical data, market trends, and competitors analysis. We can form that. Then in healthcare sector, we have already seen that doctors uses knowledge of diseases and symptoms to diagnose a patient accurately. Okay, patient symptoms can be accurately diagnosed by using these things. A and ML. We can form from a vast variety of data or a knowledge, domain knowledge, we can mimic like a human brain. Or just like how our human brain works, we can form and make a predictions from there. Okay. Then in education sectors, we can use it in many other domains as well. Then challenges in knowledge-driven thinking. What are the different challenges? While knowledge-driven thought process are powerful, they come with challenges as well. Incomplete knowledge, like missing or partial knowledge, can lead to incorrect decision. So we have to consider what is the complete thing. Then only we have to make a decision. Okay, incomplete or missing knowledge will lead to incomplete decisions or incorrect decisions. Cognitive overload. Too much information can overwhelm the decision makers also. Too much knowledge. Then there might be biased also, like cognitive bias, like confirmation bias we are having. Like at the end, I am going to do this only. Okay, so this is like bias thing. which will affect how we process and use our knowledge and form and make a decision eventually. So these challenges require careful management of knowledge and thinking process to avoid errors. Okay. Then there is enhancing the knowledge-driven thinking. Like to enhance the knowledge-driven thinking, we can improve the knowledge appreciation. Like stay updated always, continue learning and gather diverse perspectives. Like we can take just like our sequence to sequence model, just like our transformer architecture does. What it do, it will take a multi-head attention mechanism it will form. Okay, it will take multiple perspectives and then from all the projections, it will make one decision from that. Okay, like it will feed forward that all and it will make one decision from that. Likewise. So organized knowledge will use the knowledge management systems, databases, and frameworks to structure the information. Then there is practice critical thinking. Engage in exercises like brainstorming, mapping, and scenario analysis to improve reasoning. Tools such as knowledge graphs and databases helps organize and mutualize the complex knowledge. The future of knowledge-driven thinking is heavily influenced by AI and machine learning. Okay. So AI systems are increasingly capable of assisting or even automating the knowledge-driven decision making. Then there is, yes, it is affecting. We are having multiple tools. We are using our large language models and others to make our decisions from there. Okay. Then there is big data. The ability to access vast amount of data allows for better and informed decisions. Then there is collaborative systems, which will, the knowledge sharing platform will enhance collective reasoning, will improve outcome across sectors, different sectors. Then there is ethical considerations around AI and automated decision making will be a key focus in coming years. Okay. Like it should not be biased or whatever we are considering, that should not be a biased. Okay. Then conclusion to it. What is the conclusion to it is the knowledge-driven chain of thought is a critical component of effective decision making and problem solving. By understanding how knowledge influences our thinking, we can improve the quality of decision in various domains also. Like how our model is working, depending upon that, we can make a decisions. Okay, based on the feedbacks also, we can take a decisions. Based on the feedback, we can try and improve our model to run effectively and give us a better output. It should not get biased towards certain things. Okay, so we can improve the quality of our decisions in various domains. It is essential to keep refining and updating our knowledge, integrate new information effectively, and remains aware of challenges involved within it. Okay, so we have understood about, in the today's lecture, we have understood about what is knowledge-driven chain of thoughts. So what it will do, it will work on reasoning, it will work on problem solving, and after reasoning and problem solving, we will try and use it for decision making. Okay. Then there is, in chain of thought, we have understood about there are various things like depending upon our previous outcome or previous history, our outcome or the future will be depending, or the new input or the existing input will be depending. Okay, whatever the previous output we are having, based upon that, we will decide now we have this option. Based upon this, what we can do further. Okay, based upon the existing action, we will decide what we can do in the future. Okay, so it will work on a logical sequence, one by one. Each and everything will be taken. Then we have understood about there are knowledge, different types of knowledge in the system. Like there is tacit knowledge, there is explicit knowledge, which tacit knowledge is what we can gain through an experiences. And explicit knowledge is what? We can have formal or documented format. Okay. Then we have understood about declarative knowledge, like what we know, what is procedural knowledge is, like facts and information stored in memory within our backend. What is stored within our backend? That is our declarative knowledge. Procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge means step by step, how one step will affect the second because of this. So there is some procedure to do this. So how to bake a cake, how to do one things, okay, how to go from this place to this place. This will also have procedures. Okay, it will also have some direction like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, likewise. Then there is conditional knowledge. When and why we apply that knowledge. Okay, so knowledge about when and why to use a specific facts or a methods. Okay, so it depends upon these three things: declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and conditional knowledge. For example, in business, for example, declarative knowledge might be knowing about market trends. Okay, market trends. Now, historic events, market trends in previous, whatever market is going up, down, candle is going up, down, likewise. Procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge is understanding how to conduct the market research. Means how we can do this thing. How can we do a market research and we can find out if the market is going up for a particular product or a down. Okay, that is what a procedural knowledge will do. Then there is conditional knowledge. Conditional knowledge is knowing when to apply which trends. Okay, means if then, when to apply which, and because of this if, what can be the what can be the scenarios, because of then what can be the scenarios. So if then, it depends upon conditional knowledge. Based upon this, what can occur, based upon then what can occur, and based upon that we can make a decision. So these are the three types of knowledge, like declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and conditional knowledge. Then we have understood about there are models, cognitive models for knowledge-driven thoughts. So this cognitive models of knowledge-based thinking helps us understand how information is processed and used for decision making. Like there are these two types of models are there. So these models shows that knowledge is not just stored, but effectively processed also to make a proper decision from that. Okay, then there is knowledge-driven process, like gathering knowledge, organizing knowledge, applying knowledge, and then reflection and feedback from this knowledge. Okay, so first is a gathering knowledge. Gathering knowledge, how we can gather the knowledge from information, continuously updating the information, new information. Okay, then there is organizing this knowledge, how we can use this knowledge in a structured format. Okay. Then applying knowledge, applying that knowledge to solve problems and make a decision from that. And then there is reflections and feedbacks. Okay. So likewise, we have understood about these all things. Then there is starting knowledge we have understood. Okay, what is starting knowledge and what is thought flow? Okay, starting knowledge means we start with known facts, past experiences. Okay, and thought flow. Thought flow will work on what? Thought flow will work on whatever the previous output was, the previous experience. Because of our past experience, now our existing or now our present will affect. Okay, and because of the present, the decisions which we are making because of this present existing situation, whatever the decisions we are taking, that will affect on our present. Okay, that will affect on our future as well. Okay, so when diagnosing a disease, for example, knowledge about the symptoms leads to further explorations. Some knowledge, some symptoms we are getting, then we are going and taking some tests and other things, and then we are identifying that, okay, this is a disease. Because of that disease, these are the things. So diagnosing, and then ultimately we are finding out the ways for what we can say the treatment plans. So all the things will take one by one. First, we have to identify the symptoms, Identifying the symptoms, go to the doctor. Doctor will ask us to take one, like do test and other things. After getting tested, it will again, like whatever the reports are, based upon that, our treatment will be followed. So then there is knowledge representations, just like semantic knowledge, semantic networks, frames, and rules. If then, if this is the case, what will be then? So if this is the case, what will be the circumstances? If then is the case, what will be the circumstances? And based upon that, we will form our decisions. So these are all the things, these are all the applications that we can use for knowledge, by which we can use it for application for knowledge-driven thoughts. Like in businesses, we can use, healthcare, we can use, AI, ML, we can use, and we can use in education sectors. We can use in multiple other domains as well. Okay. So what are the challenges when it comes to knowledge-driven thinking? Like incomplete knowledge. Incomplete or a partial knowledge can lead to incorrect decision making. Okay. Then there is cognitive overload of whatever information we are having. We are having more information. That can also affect our decision making. Then bias towards certain, we know. Bias will also affect our decision making. Okay. So enhancing our knowledge-driven thinking process by improving our knowledge acquisition, organizing our knowledge, and then practice critical thinking from there. So that tools such as knowledge graphs and databases helps us organize and visualize the complex knowledge thinking. Okay. So these are the future of knowledge-driven thoughts and our conclusions. Okay. So this is it for today, guys. Thank you for joining. We'll see in the next lecture with new topic. Thank you.